Hey, what up, Long Beach? Welcome back to the 562.org. It's Eli, and this high school flag football video is brought to you by the fine folks over at Naples Rib Company, and all of our Millikan coverage this year is sponsored by Brian Ramsey and TLD Law. Thank you to all of our sponsors. And we were at C High on Monday for an intense Moore League showdown and a big decider in the league standings. It was different shades of blue as Millikan was in town, the current #1 in the Moore League after handing Poly its first loss ever a week ago, and looking to stay there with a win, which Compton followed in their footsteps with a huge win of their own against Poly, so the Tar Babes can force a three-way tie atop of the standings with a win over Millikan. They're looking to do that while Millikan's looking to stay at the top, and it was Millikan getting off to a hot start on offense on its opening drive. Quarterback Holly Ibarra found Sophia Romo on a couple of short passes on the right sideline with some yards after the catch. Ibarra then pulls it and rolls out before throwing across her body over to Alyssa Carrillo with a nice catch and run to set up 1st and goal. And then one girl in motion, it's the senior Kate Martin with the carry into the end zone with the juke move. Millikan able to go up 6-0 on its opening drive, and you could see they messing with the motion as things humming early for that offense. But back the other way, get used to this name, Ariel Willard, gonna split 2 defenders on the catch. A nice ball from Maya Gibson, as you see Willard working her way around the left sideline for a nice gain. Gibson also efficient when she just used her own legs. Just a few plays later, she would take off on that same left sideline and with the ballerina spin in for the end zone, in for 6 as she ties it up. And when she dropped back for the extra point, she found Willard, and those hands are certified. So it's 7-6 or 6-7, whatever way you look at it. Either way, Compton is in front. Millikan looking to march right back down the field in reply. Ibarra going to roll out right and throw a dot to Romo. Another nice grab for the sophomore along that right sideline. However, when Ibarra tried the left sideline, it was a no-fly zone. Audrey Baker steps in front of this pass. She was all over the field on defense and setting up a great field positioning the other way, picking up as many yards as she could after the catch. Couldn't get to the end zone, but like I said, setting up a great field positioning for Compton on offense. And that would kind of set the tone for some defense to be played for the rest of the game. Nikki Cheshire gets in on a PBU for that Millikan defense. That set up 4th and about 2. And when Gibson takes off with it, she's tripped up. So Millikan able to avoid any damage on the turnover. They go back on offense. So back the other way, Ibarra poised in the pocket, stepping up and hitting Kate Martin with some strong hands to make the catch, moving the chains. The Rams faced a 4th and down later on this drive, and I just had to show this play. An absolute beauty, not just because I'm an Eagles fan. Millikan calls the Philly special, and it's Nick Foles. Holly Ibarra making the catch to extend the drive. But on 4th and goal later in the drive, Baker gets near it. She's the closest one to it, and the refs call it incomplete. So another empty drive for Millikan without points. And for Compton, that defense able to force a turnover on downs. However, the Millikan defense would step up and step in. Cheshire with the beautiful read and beautiful catch. Got to be the green gloves. Both teams making turnovers, and it was only a matter of time before they would cash in on one. And who better to cash it into than the one that got you there? Ibarra on the deep ball, and Cheshire makes it look easy with the strong hands. Like I said, Millikan just messing with all the motion before heading into the half. They head into the break with a 12-7 lead. But coming out of the half, it just looked like Millikan's first drive. Ibarra goes to Romo, who's able to make the catch down the middle, picking up some more yards after the catch for the sophomore. And that offense just rolling. Ibarra going to hold the safeties with her eyes on that right side before turning left and launching it to an open Martin into the end zone. No daps today, just so much motion. Millikan now leading a little bit comfortably, 18-7. So Compton needing that spark on offense, even throwing up some prayers, and those prayers were answered by Ariel Willard, the sophomore, able to get things going on offense as she cuts it to a 1-score lead with this touchdown. So many highlights to come from 1-0. And credit the Compton defense after that. A great job holding Millikan up as freshman Destiny Kelly gets in on one of her 5 sacks, none bigger than this one, and no celebrations bigger than this one as she hits the too small. So the offense gets it back. Gibson looks to Willard over the middle. Kind of felt like the smart thing to do, get the ball to 1-0 on offense. Gibson again looking to Willard down the middle. And there goes that girl, Willard, giving her brother a real run for his money for the best football player in the family. She takes this one into the end zone, and that first PAT really looming large as Compton now led it 19-18 with under 8 minutes to play in the ball game. Not much going for Millikan on offense. They were forced to punt it after a 3-and-out, and that's not who you want to punt it to either. Willard with one of multiple nice returns, setting up good field positioning all day, and often ending in thumps like this one. She would be okay and take more falls later in this game. And when she didn't throw it to Willard, Gibson took off with it herself, This one goes for 20 yards and the score, so Compton up 26-18 with under 6 to play. So they really just turned this game around, looking to hold their breath and hold up on defense. Millikan back the other way though, looking to get it all back on one play. But boy, 10 was just a magnet to the ball. Willard gets up with her second INT of the game to give Compton the opportunity to chew some clock. She would be okay, and I could prove it to you, as Gibson's going to look her way on offense. However, the Millikan defense able to hold up this time on third down and force a punt. They'd get one more shot to go down and tie it with under 2 minutes to play in this ball game. So Ibarra going to hit Kaylee Cisneros with a nice gain and first down after some penalty yardage tacked on the end of this one. Ibarra then going to feel some pressure as she drops back, rolls out right before finding Cheshire. Some really strong hands on this catch and reaching for every yard she can get. Even more penalty yardage would be tacked on after a flag on that play. So with under 30 seconds to go, needing a touchdown and an extra point, Ibarra scrambles and takes off to pick up the first down. And then the clock's going to be winding down a few plays later. It's going to be the last play of the game. Ibarra rolling, going to heave one up. It's up and it hits the turf. Compton able to seal it on defense. Willard deservingly hyped up about it along with her team and coach Jason Carrera as one of the absolute best success stories for Compton in a while, with back-to-back wins against Pauley and Millikan. So they're all hyped up about it, and there's a three-way tie atop of the Moore League, and the question is, who can win out? Millikan will host Jordan on Wednesday, while Compton will be at Jordan next Monday. And you want coverage of that and all things Long Beach sports, you're already in the right spot, the562.org.